Hi, Adi.
Hi, Aadi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, very good. I'm quite
How was
excited
it?
for today's session.
Same. It is a very special session, right?
Yes. Not only do we have our main guest, Nishiji, but we also have a surprise.
Yeah. So, just to tell you a little bit about Nishiji, Adi, and others who are watching, Nishiji has been a part of Art of Living for over 20 years now. Isn't that amazing?
Incredible.
And she is very passionate about bringing transformation in people's lives, so that they can be much more happier, healthier, and the best versions of themselves through yoga, breathing techniques, meditation. And just by her company, you feel so uplifted and so welcome, so nice. And she's a senior member of the Art of Living faculty, and she teaches happiness program, Art of Silence, Sahed Samadhi, Shri Yoga, Yes Course, Art Excel, Shri Sanskar Kendra, Trauma Relief, um, Breath Water Sound Workshop, and corporate courses, Eternity Process. So there's
So, what
list
does
is
she not teach?
there are a lot of courses. Art of Living has 57 courses, but Nishiji is like a package for so many courses. She's
Mhm.
such a strong woman and such a beautiful lady. And who else do we have, Adi?
Well, today we've got a surprise for you also. We've got a beautiful musical performance coming up by Bhavna Govind, who's an art of living teacher in Brisbane, Australia. She's been an art of living teacher for 5 years, and she's a paraplanner, so an assistant to a financial planner. And not only that, she's also juggling a beautiful 2-year-old girl. So really excited to have her on as well. And Aditya and I actually, to speak of our guest, we had the pleasure of actually just doing a happiness course with Nishiji, which
Yeah,
was so incredible. And
yeah,
like,
it's.
yeah, also happy to find out more about her and her journey today.
I have actually also been a part of an silence course with Nishiji. I think in March this year, it was such a beautiful experience. Just I was telling the people who organized that course that just in her presence, the silence was so much deeper and meditations were so beautiful. So it is really nice to have such people with us. And listening to their guru stories, listening to how they moved on this path encourages us, makes us feel more connected and grateful. And
Definitely.
that is why tissues is a very important part of today's session.
I've got a box.
Yes. So to all the viewers here, you should keep your tissues ready.
And
Also,
welcome. Mhm.
Adi, how can they interact with us?
So we've also got comments coming up on the side, which we'll read probably throughout and see if we can get our lovely, lovely people to start answering some questions for you.
Yes, and already we have Girja ji, they will be commenting there. So welcome all. And you should also subscribe to our channel because we have some amazing teachers, amazing volunteers, a lot of fun episodes coming in future. So subscribe to our channel so that you can be updated. This is
Like
what
the
all the.
video and the bell.
So, Adi, I was telling you, right? I did not know that we have to do this, but then I was watching some other YouTube videos and I found that this is common that they ask you to subscribe. And I was like, oh, this might be important. Let's find it.
Let's just get the basics. But
Yes.
also, we should start our official way. So I'm Aadi,
And I am Adi.
and you're having chai with
Adi.
and Aadi.
And what are you having today?
Well, I've got basil leaf tea. Guruji was actually saying that there was a really good tea recipe that Nishiji was actually telling me beforehand, and includes turmeric root, pepper, basil leaves, lemon, and Nishiji will tell us more. But I don't have turmeric root at the moment, unfortunately, so I thought I'd stick to the basics. What about you?
So I'm having a beautiful lemongrass tea.
Nice.
And yeah, it's nice. The lemon zest in it, and it just makes me feel very detoxified already.
Absolutely. Well, let's find
Yeah.
out what everyone else is drinking. So let's bring out Nishiji. And Bhavnaji, if you're there too, We'd love to find out what you're both drinking this evening. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Jai Gurudev, welcome.
Jai
Jai Gurudev, everyone.
So Nishiji, what are you drinking today?
I'm having a chai which Guruji has given the recipe. This is what you said, Aadi. This is turmeric root, ginger, tulsi, that is holy basil, and pepper, and lemon pieces.
Nice. All right.
Good for immunity. So that is.
What about you, Bhavna ji?
I have something in common, so that's a tulsi tea as well.
Yay!
Wow.
This was not planned, everyone.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Bhavna ji, we'll see you shortly for your performance. Thank you for coming on Chai with Aadi and Aadi.
Thank you.
So Nishiji, we've spent the whole weekend with you in the happiness program, which was so nice. But now we'd like to find a bit more about what makes you you. So can you share some childhood memories with us? Something that gives you like a loving feeling.
Okay. See, my childhood was mainly in Patiala, Punjab, because my father was a maths professor in the university. But actually, I should confess that I wasn't good at maths in school. Anyways, but basically we are from UP. So my grandparents, my father's side, they are in Lucknow. They were in Lucknow. And my mother's side, they were in Kanpur. So only on the summer vacation, 2 months, we used to go there and be with our cousins. So we will look forward to be there. And mother's side, they were Arya Samaji, more on Havan and Gayatri Mantra and all those things. But being with the cousins and all, it was such a fun, very liberal family, and we would go to movies and all. And even my nanny was so fond of movie. If we had to go to movie, she will be the first one to get ready. So I remember in my childhood in my mother's house, mummy's nana, not nana, chacha, uncle, he used to do some sun salutation and some yoga and all. Nobody followed him, but somewhere in my mind that stuck, and in subconscious mind. So that was something, I think, which led me to this. It was somewhere sitting in my mind. And whereas in my daddy's side in Lucknow, our cousins, we had used to have a lot of fun, kite flying and all those things, but they were in Sanatan Dharma, but very disciplined. And my grandfather, at 8 o'clock, he'll ring the bell. Everybody had to dress up after the bath, come and do puja. And then 9 o'clock, we had to go to the dining hall. And so that type of discipline. But whereas my mother's side, it was all fine.
So it was balance. It was one side and the other side.
And even after I got married, I remember that my father-in-law was into yoga. He used to perform yoga daily, and he would do jal niti, that water.
Oh, the neti pot.
He used to do that, and he would wake up very early in the morning and do some chanting, very humming. I used to hear those humming. So I felt that all settled in my head when I joined Art of Living. And so when I do yoga now, my mother sometimes tells me, oh, this asana, your father, my nana, my mother's father used to do.
Oh, that's nice.
So that is how. So these are the very innocent childhood memories.
But they do have an impact. But before
somewhere they keep sitting in your head, and then how I came to Art of Living without any following the yoga. But my mother's side, they used to follow Ayurveda. We never used to call it Ayurveda.
Of course, it'd just be normal.
Recipes of Ayurveda.
Yeah.
I still remember the word.
So before we do get into how you came into the art of living,
Right.
we want to play a game with you. So this is our rapid fire round. Aditya,
Yes.
Nishi Saran, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Perfect. Aditya, first one, go.
All right. So the first question for you, Nishiji, is if you could have any three people over for dinner, sitting with you and having dinner with you, who would they be?
Three people.
Yes.
Guruji. Again, Guruji. And one can be Banu Didi. I can call Banu.
Oh. 2-1? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if there was a book to be written about your life, what would it be called?
That will be Subtle Transformation.
Wow, that's a beautiful title. Beautiful title, Nishiji.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is kind of fun. Which store do you shop at the most?
I was interested to hear the answer to this, especially.
Shankara.
Shankara.
I'm a Shankara fan. So normally I get
Yeah, they
my
have-
from Shankara only.
Are they there? What kind of products do you get from Shankara?
Shankara, all the skincare products. That is
They are
what
nice.
Shankara is. Yeah, from the US. Yeah.
And what comes into your mind when I say the following words? Love.
Unconditional Love by
Art
Sri.
art of living.
Yeah. That is
What about
unconditional love means all the love coming together, and yeah.
what about when I say the word silence?
Silence, the inner silence which we experience when we are meditating. That also I learned from Art of Living. All my experiences from Art of Living.
What about the word meditation?
Meditation is like you can have you don't want one word. Do you want one word answer?
Tell us what comes to you.
Okay. Meditation, just sitting on the seaside with the sun setting, and that is meditation. Your eyes closed by itself.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Well, now that we know a little bit about you personally, we'd like to hear about your first course. And it happened in...
It's interesting.
Yes.
See, it was somewhere in 2000. Okay. And my son was in year 12. And we were in Bahrain. And Bahrain, after year 12, it was, we had to send the children to either India or some other country to study. So I was quite stressed where to send my son, because he was, when he was 3 years old, we left India and we went to Saudi Arabia and Bahrain and all these places. So I didn't know what to do, and very stressed I was that how will I leave my son? Normally, like mothers are. And my husband once saw the ad for Art of Living, and he went and did the course with Baba and Dinesh.
Wow.
He came home and he said, go and do this course. I didn't know anything about spirituality, not following any guru or anyone. So I said, okay. And after 2 days was 13th May, Guruji's birthday. And there was a satsang with Baba and Dinesh. So I went to that satsang. I didn't even know what satsang is, just went there and met Dinesh. And I just told him, I'm very stressed because I don't know where to send my son to study. He just, with so much of conviction, he said, come and do the course. After 2 days, I went to do the course, and I took my son also. Since everything was so new to me, I've never been into any guru, any spirituality, all these yoga, and yeah, I did everything, not willingly, but at the end of the course, the last day, I just felt that something shifted within me. What was it? I couldn't make out, but there was some change in me. And I was looking at the teacher, Dinesh Godge, sitting right in front of me. And that intention was, I have to sit on that platform and bring this change to others. That was the first thing. And after that, I did all the courses, or organizing all the courses. I was working full time in the high school, teaching high school children. But after that, my mind was in art of living. Wherever in Bahrain, there was no teacher. Only Baba Dinesh came to start Art of Living. Then Michael Fishman came. So this is all that happened. And one Art Excel teacher, Pallavi Wag, she came to take Art of Living, Art Excel. So I organized, since I was working in the school, I organized a huge course for her.
While you were working?
I was working in school.
Wow.
Yeah, organized a course in the school hall itself.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the teachers, school teachers, whatever you tell the parents, they will send their children. And so then my daughter was so impressed by Pallavi. She said, I want this teacher to come and stay with us. And I said, I don't know how these teachers live and what they eat. And I don't know, I cannot. She was insisting, and you know how children are. And then I got Pallavi into my house, and there was no other teacher, only the art excel teacher in Bahrain. And after a few days was Guru Purnima. Okay. So Pallavi and the volunteers there organized Guru Purnima, and Pallavi led. I didn't even know what Guru Purnima was, who was the Guru. Not that connection was not there that time. So we went to Guru Purnima, she performed, and then she announced that one of the lady volunteer, Vandana, she is going to US, and she will be meeting Guruji on Guru Purnima day. That was one day before our program. That was one day next to our program. So she was going, and if anybody has to give the letters, they can give. And I said, what is this Guru, and what will he tell, and why should I give letter, and all sorts of doubts. But something was going on in the mind, because we got a PR for Australia. And, you know, Middle East, the jobs are so good, tax-free. So we were not sure whether to go or not. So I just wrote one sentence. We got the PR to Australia. Should we go? And I wrapped it and sealed it properly. And very quietly, I handed it over to Vandana to give it. And she also didn't know. She went to the US. Next day, we had gone to satsang. That was also my first time going to satsang with Pallavi, because Pallavi was there. Went to satsang, and Vandana's husband was there in satsang. So Pallavi asked Vandana's husband whether Vandana has met Guruji and given the letters. He said, yes, she met Guruji, and Guruji, she took the bundle of letters and told Guruji, Guruji, I'm from Bahrain, so many letters have come for you. Guruji just looked at her and smiled at her and asked, how is Nishi?
Wow.
And this is what Vandana's husband said, and I was shivering, trembling. Who is this Guru? Why he called my name? How does he know? You know, all sorts of things came to my mind. And Pallavi said, I think Guruji wants to meet you. And I had never traveled alone. I had not, it was going to India or anywhere where Guruji is and meeting him. And who is this Guru? And you know how, what all comes to your mind about. But when Guru calls you, nobody can stop you. He makes a way for you. So I wrote to Dinesh, I wrote to Baba, and everybody, Michael Fishman, who was also my teacher, and they all guided me. And I landed in Bangalore. And first I went to Delhi, and I thought I'll tell my brothers and my mother, and they will be so angry with me. You're following a guru and this. But they were so supportive. They helped me. Even the teachers in Delhi, they were so nice. And I called, they all, Baba, Dinesh, Pallavi, they all helped me so much. They gave me the teachers' phone numbers. I called one of the teacher and asked, how's Guruji traveling to Bangalore? Which flight is it? And they said, we normally don't tell, but I will tell you. They told me the flight, and I changed my ticket to that flight. And the same flight we went to, and I saw Guruji first time in the flight. And I went to him and said, Guruji, I have come from Bahrain. He said, Jai Gurudev, have you come alone? I said, yes. And after that, I didn't know what to say. And okay, reached Bangalore. And when I got down, and there was some people came to me and said, we have got a car for you. Guruji has sent a car for you to take you to ashram. Because he asked me whether I'm alone. So he arranged for a car. But since my cousin was living there, so we had planned to stay. I said, I'll come tomorrow. The next day, I went to ashram. First time stepping in the ashram and looking at everybody's smiling faces. Year 2000. Everybody so, you say, blissed out. Everybody smiling and Jai Gurudev. And I said, oh, I've come to some heaven. And I went to one room and I asked, where should I meet Guruji? They smiled and they said, did you have your lunch? I said, no. They said, go and have lunch. There is the kitchen. I said, I have got some bags. They said, don't worry about bags. And I said, oh, why should I leave my bags? Who are there? Anyways, I left my bag and went to the kitchen. They organized everything, gave me food, organized my, like, as if Guruji has told them to organize everything for me. She is coming. And the next day, there were a few people sitting, and I went and sat there. And I went to Guruji and I asked the first thing, where should I send my son to? He said, I told him that we have got a PR for Australia. Should we go? He closed his eyes and thought for a while and said, send your son to Australia. And after 2 years, you go. So in 2 years' time, he made me the teacher. And my son got admission in Brisbane, where there was no art of living. So it was all arranged by him. See, he organizes everything. We just have to like line up the dots. Huh?
Walk the path.
Yeah. This is how I landed in Brisbane, starting from the scratch, the art of living. So that is one story.
Well, we'll get to more Guru stories in just a minute. That was so beautiful. But we'll interrupt you with another beautiful performance by Bhavna Govind. And she's going to sing a beautiful medley of songs for us. So we're very lucky to have her.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
A special dedication to Gurudev and all our devotees. Jai Guru.
Gurudev, thank you for having me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved her soul, like me. I once was lost, but now was blind, but now I see. Guru Matra Pita Guru बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम गुरु माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम तुम ही भाग्य हो तुम ही शक्ति हो तुम ही मुक्ति हो मेरे सांब शिवा गुरु मातृ पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम तुम ही प्रेरणा तुम ही साधना तुम ही आराधना सांब शिवा गुरु मातृ पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम तुम ही प्रेम हो तुम ही करुणा हो तुम ही मोक्ष हो मेरे सांब शिवा पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम प्रियतम तुम ही हृदयनाथ तुम ही तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि प्रणाम तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरे कोटि जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा न कोई है न कोई था जिंदगी में तुम्हारे सिवा तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा वो चांदनी जब टकरा देता है हर कोई साथ तुम मगर अंधेरों में न छोड़ना मेरा जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा
That was so beautiful, Bhavna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. It's so beautifully like all these emotions that we feel, this gratitude that we feel to be on this path and to be with Gurudev. It's just so beautiful how we can express it through singing and, just amazing. And Nishi ji, continuing our Guru stories.
Okay.
That Gurudev, we know that you were there when Gurudev came to Australia, I think in 2000. There is a whole story of how you ended up cooking for Gurudev and how you enjoy.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Guruji, uh, see, he will, whatever is in your mind, he comes to know about you, the devotees. There is, if you think that he's not listening to you, whatever you are saying or whatever you really want, whatever is your longing, it's not like that. He's always there and he knows what's happening. Okay. So in 2003, I came to Brisbane and Guruji came to Australia in 2004. And since in Brisbane, I've just started Art of Living and a few courses only. So I very much wanted him to come to Brisbane, but since nothing much was there, he, as Baba said, he will not say no, but not much work has been done. So we'll see it next time. I said, okay. But when I was coming to Australia, I thought, okay, now in Australia, Guruji will come and he will surely come to my house and I should carry some, I'll cook for him. And I bought some silver plates and bowls and everything for him to, that he'll come and I'll feed him in this. And when he came to Australia, he went to Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, Perth, everywhere. So when he was in Sydney, I called the Sydney teacher and I said, I'm coming. She said, yeah, come. And Baba was also there. So I said, I'll cook for Gurudev. And Baba said, no, lots of people are there to cook for him. So I got so disappointed. Anyways, I went there and I stayed with Gayatri, Atul, and it was so beautiful staying with them. And then we were all together, going everywhere with Guruji, Canberra and all. And when Guruji came that evening, there was a huge satsang in somebody's house, in somebody's tennis court, and everybody got involved in satsang and singing and dancing and all those going on. And after that, food was also arranged. And Guruji was also in the dining room, started feeding people and talking. And suddenly, Baba comes inside and calls me and said, nobody has cooked for Guruji. Everybody's so busy, busy with Guruji, satsang and all those. And what to do now, time for him. And then Akshat was there, Josna was there, Atul, and we went to the market, got vegetables, and then I cooked for him. And Guruji kept everybody busy till I cooked for him. And after that, I was in the kitchen and I was baking parathas, aloo paratha and gobi and all that I made for him. And Baba fed him and took it. So that I wanted to cook for Guruji. He made it happen. But then that was at night, it was in my mind that everybody had a nice time with Gurudev, all the teachers he met, and they had a meeting and I kept on cooking in the kitchen. So that was troubling me. Next day, we had to go to Sydney, Melbourne, Sydney, from Sydney to Melbourne. And the flight which Guruji goes, everybody will rush to that. So last moment decided to go in that flight. Atul, Gayatri, Praveen, Akshad, Jyotsna, I don't know who all, yeah. And that was the peak hour. They drove and reached the airport and the counter was closed. They said, you cannot go in this flight. I said, Art of Living people. We have got lots of Art of Living people, but you cannot go in this flight. Oh, everybody said, no, our Guru is here and we have to go in this flight only. They said, take the next flight. You cannot. It's already closed, the counter. And everybody got so disappointed. We thought, okay, next flight we'll take, what to do. And as we turned, the lady at the counter, she calls me, hey lady, come here. I went there, show your ID. I showed the ID. She said, you can go. It was already, 10 more minutes for the flight to take off. And she said, you can go. And other teachers with me, they said, no, she can't go. She has got luggage. She's from Brisbane. So the lady at the counter, she said, okay, you all bring her luggage. Let her go. Okay, I was allowed to go. I didn't know which gate number what, and somebody from the counter came running with me. We both ran and boarded the flight. And as I boarded the flight, and Guruji, business class, he was sitting and he was looking here and there. Why the flight is not taking off? What is wrong? Like all dramas, he made this. I went to economy class and they said, it is full. Economy is full. You are upgraded to business class. I said, okay. So business class, Guruji is sitting 3 rows. Guruji, 1, 2, 3. He was in the first row. I was in the last row. And I was thinking, oh, Guruji is there. I'll keep looking at him. I should sit with him. And the person who was sitting with him, I tried to, but he was not looking. And as the flight was going to take off, he suddenly got up and looked at me. Hey, lady, you want to come here? I said, yes. And we swapped places. I sat with Guruji. So I thought, okay, now it's good time. I'll talk to Guruji for the whole time. And Guruji first told the hostess to get 2 glasses of water, and she brought the water. And I drank 1 glass, and the other glass I gave to Guruji. He said, no, drink this one also. Because I was running and panting. So I drank that water also. And I thought, okay, let me now talk to Guruji. And Guruji put his legs up and started meditating, close his eye. I thought, oh my God, now he's meditating. I wanted to talk to him. And now what will I do? And Guruji looked at me, said, हाँ सुन रहा हूँ, बोलो. He said, I'm listening, you speak. I mean, what was going on in my mind, he was able to hear that also. I got so scared. I said, oh my God, I should get good thoughts. He was able to know the thoughts also. So actually, then he meditated. And I also, because he was sitting there, I also fell into meditation. Few minutes after he opened his eyes, he looked at the map and he started talking about Australia, this Sydney is here. And then he went to Darwin. He said, did we have a course here? I said, no, Guruji. Then he started talking about other places again. Did we have a course here? I said, no, Guruji, we have to have a course here. Okay. We reached Melbourne. And I got down. I told Baba Dinesh, very excited that I sat with Guruji, and Guruji has said there should be a course in Darwin. You both go and take a course. He said, no, that means you have to go and take it. I said, oh my God, Darwin, such a new place, and I don't know anyone. How will I take a course there, and how will this happen? And like Guruji, like a Robinson Crusoe, he will just throw me at one island. That is what happened. I somehow, like, everything happened, and I went there, and somebody organized the course, and a nice course. 13 people were there in the course, and we took the course, and went. After that, also I went to Darwin and took the course. So this is how he makes things happen. My longing for cooking for him, not meeting him. So he made it possible, special. So this is what our Guru is. He's like 100% divine, 100% human. Divine in the human form. Anything happening to any devotee, any question, any longing, any problem, he's always there. Takes care.
So beautiful.
Happened many times. It's not one. There are so many stories. I don't know what to. As I shared the other day also, it was. It's not that there won't be challenges in life. There can be tragic situations in life. He will not let you fall. I've also gone through a tragedy, but that time I felt that, like, because of my sadhana, something is shielding me. That was there, but still I was feeling that somewhere as I'm falling in a pit, and suddenly I get a call from Gurudev, and like he uplifted me, as if like rising from the ashes, the phoenix. That is what he did. He said, "You have energy, you're taken care of." And that gave me so much of energy. And I mean, Art of Living family is so beautiful, so helping. The whole Art of Living Australia really took care of me that time, me and my children. So this is how he makes it happen. He is always there with you. And whenever you need, and whenever somewhere, somehow, he will be there to take care of.
Nishi, there is a story of how you became a silence course teacher also, and on Guru Purnima Day, you got to meet Gurudev in US.
Tell us about it.
That is also one story. Like, I had because so much Guruji has given me, I so grateful. Every moment I'm grateful to him, going down to him. That's why I'm not working full time. I'm just totally devoted to Art of Living, and what can I do for him? So I had that longing that on Guru Purnima Day I have to touch his feet to be grateful to him. And I know Guru Purnima, it's very crowded. It's not easy to to come closer to Guruji on that. So suddenly, I had that faith that this will happen. How it will happen? No, I left to him. Somewhere it will happen. And one day I was just early morning, I was browsing on my WhatsApp, and I got a message, and somebody from US, and that lady said, we are going to have a Guru Purnima in US, and I don't know, I want to talk to somebody in Australia, and so that we can organize and do something with their help. And who should I talk to? I said, you talk to me. And I said, send me all the messages and all. She said, we have not organized anything till now. It's just the idea, and we wanted to connect with somebody. I said, okay, whatever you're planning, just let me know. And she kept on telling me, and she said, this time it is in California, and we are organizing it in a Hotel Hilton, I think it was, yeah. So, and what happened that year, that time, since my brother is in Canada, so we had a family reunion in Canada. So I just told my children, I said, there is a family reunion. They said, Mama, you also go? I said, okay. They said, we'll organize everything for you, tickets and all, you just go. And going to Canada means like Regina in Canada, and yeah, California wasn't far from there. So everything was arranged, and I went to Guru Purnima. And before that, I went to Vancouver. There, one girl did the course here, because that is also one story that she came here from Vancouver to do some course, dentistry in Gold Coast, and she was feeling homesick. So her brother in Vancouver met Gurudev, and Guruji said, Nishi is having a course there. Tell her to do Nishi's course. Okay. And from Facebook, he called me and he said, you are having a course on this day. And my sister is there. And Gold Coast is just 40 minutes from here. Said, Guruji said that you are having a course, so you can take my sister. And then I called the sister. She stayed with me and they were really grateful. And they said, you have to come to Vancouver. You have to come to Vancouver. So I went to Vancouver also. For one day I stayed there. They organized a big satsang. That was really amazing. And so California, there was a darshan line one day before Guru Purnima. And somehow I happened to be in that darshan line. And when Guruji came closer to me, I said, Guruji, I will not talk like this. I want to sit with you and talk. He said, kya baat hai? मैंने कहा कोई बात नहीं है, but it's long time I sat with you and I want to fix. Acha, tell my secretary and organize a meeting. I told the secretary and he was like, okay, everybody comes and does like that. Anyways, next day, one teacher from Vancouver gets a message that Guruji is going to, Nishi should meet Guruji at 3:00. And I had given my number and the message went to that teacher and she called me she was looking for me and she just 5 minutes before 3:00, she calls me and she said, Guruji wants to meet you. I said, how come you got the message? She said, I don't know. Mystery of Guruji, don't know. Okay, I went to his room and there are a few people sitting and they was all discussing some projects and the laptop and all. I said, oh, I don't have anything to discuss and I'm just come. And as I sat there and Guruji, they were discussing the project and Guruji, as if he was not paying attention to that, he said, come. I went and sat with him. Smile. Kaise ho? Khush ho? How are you? Are you happy and all? अच्छा कितने साल हो गए हैं basic course पढ़ाते हुए? How many years since you have been teaching basic course? I said 16 years. Now you become advanced course teacher. Start teaching advanced courses. I said, okay. I was like stuck what to say, Guruji. Being more grateful. Tell my secretary and tell the ashram also, Meera. So I didn't know, like couldn't speak what to say. Anyways, that happened and then he asked about my children and all that. I went and talked to him. That was how I became advanced course teacher. And then that longing became stronger. I have to touch Guruji's feet. How can I be grateful to him? The next day was Guru Purnima and so many people were there. And Guruji was walking in between people and giving darshan and volunteers like, go, nobody can come. And as I thought, okay, it won't be possible for me to touch his feet. And as Guruji was coming closer to me, he told all the volunteers to go. Nobody was there. He told me, indicated, come and touch my feet. That was your longing. So Guruji and me, and I touched his feet and bowed down. That was such a longing and I felt so fulfilled that he knows everything, he understands everything. Whatever is in your mind, he just makes it happen. Before you desire, whether there's sometimes you think that, oh, how will it happen? But it happens.
That's incredible.
Whatever is good for you, he will make it happen.
I mean, you started the journey not knowing what to cook for one of the teachers coming to stay, and then you cook for Guruji.
What all drama, Guruji. Okay. There's one more story I wanted to share. I shared that.
Yes, tell us.
That was when we go to Bangalore. the flight reaches quite late, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock night, and ashram is so far, 2.5 hours. So normally people, some volunteers, some friends used to come and pick me up every time. I never had any such problem. That night I reached, I was sure that they will come, and I came out and nobody was there, and I waited and waited. It was 12 past night and started raining heavily, stormy weather. I got so scared. I said, how will I go to ashram now in the cab alone? That's not night. I was so scared. I started crying, and the cab driver was passing by and looking at what is this? Yes, I kept crying and crying. And then I said, Guruji, you called me here, and why can't you arrange anything? How will I go? What will I do? Where should I go? Even the airport has become empty now. Where no place for me. Suddenly one lady comes with a double umbrella, orange color. She said, you are under Guru's umbrella. And she said, I was in a meeting with Guruji, and Guruji suddenly stopped the meeting and said, that lady, she is standing there. She has to go to ashram. You go, pick her up and drop her to the ashram. And he gave his umbrella. And that lady, I sat in the car, and I don't even remember that lady's face. I don't even know whether I spoke to her throughout the journey. Everything, I just remember that, yeah, that was there. And after that, I reached ashram, and she dropped me, settled me. And as I turned to thank her, she had already gone. This is how I was taken care of that day.
Wow.
It's like your strength is through him, but also everything you do is for him. So that's what's so beautiful. Like the strength comes from him to serve.
It's the faith also. The faith in him. I know he's there. This, whatever happens in life, if there are challenges, that challenges will come because we don't know how many karmas, which lifetime we have sown what type of seeds we have sown. Some karmas are very strong and we have to go through them. We cannot do anything about that. We have to go through that suffering. But he makes your suffering, he dilutes your suffering, your pain. He's like a pillar, everything for us.
For us being the volunteers and teachers, and I'm sure we'd like to know
everyone must be having some stories, something to connect to him. He is connected with millions of people all over the world, 156 countries. How much he's doing, and little we can, as if sometimes we feel, how are we doing all that?
Yes, what's your advice to us?
Giving us strength.
Yeah, what's your advice to us?
Grace is definitely there. Without grace, without faith, nothing will work. Your sadhana makes you very strong. So that is how Guruji is. Lots of stories at one end. Yeah.
So keep up our practices so that we can bring it to more people and just keep faith.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful message.
Yeah, for all the teachers, volunteers, everybody is doing. The biggest volunteer run organization is ours, Art of Living. Everybody is doing such a wonderful job.
We're all so
yeah,
and as you said, everybody has stories. Everybody connects with Gurudev in a different way. He
Mm.
fills everybody's life somehow. And that is why on this platform also, Chai with Adi and Adi, even in future we are going to get a lot of teachers, volunteers across Australia, and interview them, and get to know more about their stories like this, such beautiful stories. It makes us feel so connected to that source somehow, right? And in the beginning, Adi had asked you what comes to your mind when I say the word silence. I don't know, somehow I feel listening to all your stories, like this is some silence within, knowing there's some power with you, walking with you. So now, for all the people who are watching this with us today, for all the volunteers, teachers, if you would like to volunteer with Nishiji on her course, or if you would like to be a part of her upcoming course and spend more time with her, we have something for you. I will just put it up on the screen. It is an online breath and meditation workshop that Nishiji is conducting. And it's a 4-day workshop, 2 hours daily. And the number is on the screen. It is from 18 to 21st of June. So you can contact Nishiji or Ritika to know more about this program and to join it or to work for it as a volunteer. Nishiji, would you like to add something?
No, that's fine.
And
Everybody is welcome.
and Nishiji, we are so grateful for your time, and thank you for sharing all these wonderful stories. We feel extremely blessed to have you here, and also for all the phone conversations we had. We got to know so much, so many good stories from you.
It's so amazing to have such a volunteer who can bring all this to the public. We can share a lot with other people and inspire them. Very beautiful.
Thank you, Nishiji. And Bhavna, are you still there with us?
Yes, I am.
Bhavna, your song made me cry, but I just, before coming, I thought I'll wipe my tears. As Guruji always says, no, in Art of Living programs, tissues are very important. So always carry your tissue whenever she sings a song, I cannot stop my tears. It just comes from heart, the way she sings. So beautiful.
Thank you, Nishi Didi.
We would like to have you back soon on Chai with Adi and Adi, and also get to know more about you later. We have so many online satsangs going on and courses going on. And on Chai with Adi and Adi, next we have again a very special guest with us. He has a lot of CDs, and a lot of bhajan songs that he has recorded, composed, and you can hear them on YouTube or Art of Living app. And the youth actually follows him a lot across the world. He has a huge fan following, and he's a very dynamic teacher, Sahil Jagtiani. He is a teacher to so many teachers around the world. And it is our pleasure that we are going to have him here next week on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. We will share the links with you soon. The the live is still on our channel, and you can watch this live also later. It'll stay on YouTube, and you can share it with your friends, your family, other volunteers, other teachers, and spread this message of love and harmony.
Yes, Bhavna, I also have to say that was such beautiful songs.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. We're so lucky to have you on, and thank you, Nishiji, for coming on and spending more time with us this weekend.
Yeah,
Really beautiful.
when I came to Brisbane, Guruji said, have satsangs. Every time I'll meet him, he will say, have satsangs, have satsangs. And now we have such a strong group of satsangis, the singers in Brisbane. They organized one band called Brisbane Bliss.
Oh.
So it started with satsang only. When satsang started, things started happening a lot.
And let's take a picture with our mugs And we can show our mugs. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aadi and Bhavna. It was beautiful talking to you all.
Same here. Thank you so much for joining. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.